Hello, one and all. This is my review, reaction, and cut-con discussion of Dr. Stone New World Part 2, Episode 11. And we got kind of a weird announcement today. We are getting another season of Dr. Stone. Huzzah! And that's not all that weird on its own, but the crazy thing is, it's being listed as the final season of Dr. Stone, and quite frankly, that doesn't make a lick of sense. I mean, seriously, there are still 90-some chapters left to adapt, and even if we get like a full season, a full 24 episodes, they would have to adapt, 3.5 chapters per episode for the entire 24 episodes. And I just don't see that happening. I mean, most chapters this season were admittedly like, 3 chapters per episode. But the last few were just, 2 episodes per chapter. And last episode was just, 1 freaking chapter. So that would be insane. That would be utterly and completely insane. They would need to cut out like entire arcs, huge chunks, to actually make that work. So I'm very confused. And my best guess right now is that we're going to get like a 24 episodes leading us all the way up to, the big final arc. And that will be adapted into a movie. But even then, that's going to be really, really freaking tight. I don't know, maybe they'll go like the Attack on Titan routes and be like, okay, that was the final season, but now we're getting 3 more episodes, each of which is the length of a movie. I mean, that might fit. That might be able to fit everything, but I really don't know right now, and please let me know anything down below. How exactly is next season going to be the final season? Weird. So weird. And also, just disappointing. I mean, after last episode, after they added in so much, anime original content, that was such good anime original content, I thought to myself, wow, these guys, they really get it. They're really going to, give it their all. And maybe we'll see more content. Maybe we'll see more filling in for some of the stuff that, manga readers thought was rushed and didn't get the proper time it needed. But now, I'm worried we're going to get even more rushed. So, all right. Let's get into this starting in 3, 2, 1. Yes, they have finally managed to claim the Medusa. They finally have the device they need to save Tsukasa and save everyone else in the world. They can do anything now. They are basically gods. Well, not really. Also do love this is Dr. Stone. Yes, this right here is Dr. Stone. They said it. They said the name of the series in the series. Wow. Oh, and cute little Mira. She's so excited to have her big brother back. And just weird chalk licking the reporter girl in the background. Love it. Also, really have to include just this color page from this chapter because it is so absolutely amazing. Seriously, if you've never looked up the color pages of Dr. Stone, you gotta. This author goes above and beyond for them so much. I love it. Beyond the New World. Yes, this is it. This is them going out and exploring the entire wide world. Literally everything. In order to get the things they need to build a spaceship and go battle the Y-Man on the moon. Fantastic. Yeah, that's... God, I love just the foresight into this. Not only was Senku stabbed to raise the stakes, during that battle, but Senku was also stabbed just for this moment with Ryu, so that Ryu can analyze and be like, why didn't you use the Dr. Stone to cure yourself too? That is weird. That is unprecedented. That is setting off my captain's instincts. Senku. I love that. I absolutely love it. I mean, this thing is, like I said, literally a godlike device, the ultimate power, and it is out of batteries. I mean, it makes sense. Even for something as sci-fi and as insane as this, it can't just produce, a limitless supply of energy. Something must be powering it. God, I also love that detail. I mean, in the manga, you couldn't really tell it all that much because it was just, a giant beam. But yeah, Senku's right. He said 5 meters, and while I may not understand meters all that well, I can guarantee you that is not 5 freaking meters. Yeah, Kirsami, you realized, oh, right. You know, the old master did tell us never to actually petrify the entire freaking island. Turns out that was just because, it'd be insanely evil. It was also because doing so would drain the thing's batteries and make it useless. It's funny in the manga, he actually squeezes so hard that he almost breaks her hand. Like, she's like, ah! Yeah, Taiju is really a beast, though I think it does make more sense that, she's just more, shocked and embarrassed here than actually being crushed. He is, for all intents and purposes, a very gentle giant. Oh god, I love this girl. Yeah, she's fine. If her hands get crushed, her hands get broken, if she gets petrified, she doesn't actually care. So long as it gives her brother just the tiniest bit more of a chance of waking up, of being saved after he saved her, and literally got impaled for it. I love Senku, always the pragmatist, or more likely, always using his pragmatism as an excuse for him to do something actually nice and gentle and kind. And yeah, I think even Mira realizes that, she can tell this Senku dude, he's a really nice person. Oh, that just really made me smile. Just the sound of every single person saying it at the exact same time. 1 meter, 1 second. This utter unity among them it's honestly making me tear up a little bit. Oh god, I love it. And yes, that's it. That tiny little thing is all they needed to actually freaking petrify the man. Huzzah! Though, it's still a gamble because they have no idea how the Medusa works, or Duckstone works. They have like a slight idea, like it might work like this, but I mean, Tsukasa has basically been a corpse, a frozen corpse, for a very long time, over a year. If this can actually fix him, then Medusa can fix almost anything, so long as the body's still intact, more or less. And he's still holding the necklace she gave him as he stands up. Oh, that's a nice detail right there. Love it. Yeah, there you go, Mira. Cry your eyes out. You deserve it. You've saved your big brother's life. Oh, God, and the head pats. The head pats. So precious. So utterly, utterly precious. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, Rory is, pretty big supporter of love, and she really wants Tsukasa and this girl to have their moment, even though Tsukasa is in the middle of having his moment with his little sister. She's very pushy. Oh, Chrome, you should not have made that comment when Kohaku was literally right next to you. Yeah, he deserved that. Kind of deserved it. It's also just a really weird scene in the middle of this heartfelt reunion. And seriously, he's giving Reporter Girl head pads too? Oh, that's amazing. Okay, this right here is honestly... Let me rewind. Right here is one of my favorite panels in the entire manga. These two former enemies turned allies, turned corpse and savior, standing back to back. It's just so manly, it is so awesome, and I absolutely freaking love it. Though what comes next is even better, honestly. Seriously, what's the situation? Just so serious, so focused on the mission. I mean, he is, a true warrior and nothing can shake him. Except that actually freaking broke him. I mean, that is the most utterly absurd line imaginable. And Senku was just definitely having fun with him here, because there's certainly other ways he could have said it, like, the man who petrified us all is hiding out in the moon or something. But no, he said we're attacking the moon. In the manga, he said, we're invading the moon, but either way, that just completely and utterly broke him. Fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah, even after like that little just break right there, he goes immediately back to warrior mode, and he's ready to fight. Okay, and now we get Jinro being just so utterly awful. Over in the last couple chapters, last episode, we actually got like a little cocky meter for Jinro. It just maxed out. It just absolutely maxed out. Or carried away level, that works as well. Oh, Jinro, you really deserve to be stabbed by Ibarra, I gotta say. I just wish it made you a slightly better person. I mean, seriously, can we put this dude back in a dress? He was good in a dress. He was not awful when he was wearing a dress. Again, this man just woke up from a year-long coma, not even a coma, year-long being frozen to essentially death, and he's immediately ready for a fight. Also, when did he get his jacket back? Yeah, this dude literally came up with his jacket while kneeling before him. Oh, that's amazing. Seriously, I mean, this dude is a baller 100%. Yeah, that was literally all it took for Tsukasa to beat this dude. I mean, you really do forget that he is a monster, a 100% monster. I mean, he killed a couple of lions with his bare hands back in like episode 3 or whatever, so obviously there's no way he'd have any problem facing off against Matsukaze, even if Matsukaze was able to seamlessly kick both Kohaku and Kurosami's butts. Though also, probably worth pointing out, Matsukaze is fighting with a stick here. If he was actually fighting, with a steel sword or something, he may have had a slightly better chance here. He still would have lost, but he would have had a slightly better chance. Yeah, there we go, Jinro. Thank you. Seriously. We needed that. We absolutely needed that just to, stabilize him a little bit. Why did they let Yo keep the gun? Seriously, why does Yo still have the gun? I can understand if they were still in, enemy territory, even on Treasure Island, it could be that some of Ibarra's followers might turn against them, but back in the village, back in the Kingdom of Science, there's nobody who's a threat to them, so take away his freaking gun before he shoots someone by accident. Or on purpose. I don't actually know which is more likely with him. I mean, it is definitely interesting that Senku kept his crack scars, even though he was at least partially paralyzed back on Treasure Island. It always felt like, this is something the author wanted to keep in, like, yeah, the crack scars actually make Senku who he is, so I don't want to get rid of them. And next we see everyone else, painting themselves up with fake crack scars as a symbol of their resolve to, save the world, to fix everything, and only then would they remove them. Only once the world's put back together would they allow themselves to heal and move forward. Seriously, they're all just repainting their own crack scars. And what's crazy is, unless that's, like tattoo ink, they need to reapply it probably like every single freaking day, and they'll just keep doing that for literally the rest of the series. That is so utterly insane. Honestly, how well does anyone know what their crack scars actually look like? It's not like there's mirrors in the Stone Age. The best they can get is, the reflection in a stream of water or whatever. So, do they need to, consult other people? Did it look like this, or was it more like this? It's such a weird detail. Though I do absolutely love this shot. Everyone, committed to the goal, committed to saving the entire world, saving humanity, standing side by side with Senko. And there's also just a way of, formally introducing Tsukasa as a member of the Kingdom of Science. He's, following the same ritual as the rest of them, so he is now technically one of them. He has joined the party. Yeah, see? He joined the party. Huzzah! Literally the strongest man on Earth. Alright, now we are up to chapter 142, and I imagine this will be the last chapter of this season, because honestly, 143 is just such a good, starting up point for next season. It seriously just starts off with a bunch of interviews with every member of the Kingdom of Science, so yeah, you couldn't get any more perfect than that. Honestly, I think people are going to watch that and assume, oh, this is anime original content. The timing is just too good. Yeah, that's a fairly good point. I mean, imagine the timeline where Tsukasa didn't actually revive Jen. Senku wouldn't have gotten the warning, he wouldn't have known about the invading armies, he wouldn't have been able to trick everyone. I mean, seriously, without Jen, Senku would have lost 1,000,000%. And, yeah, Tsukasa realizes, okay, so reviving you did kind of royally fork me over, but now I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I didn't murder you. Huzzah! I mean, it's not really convincing when you say it, Francois, considering that you can do literally anything by yourself. You are skilled in everything, I think, except medical procedures. Seriously, there's one point in the manga, I can't find the page right now, where the author, literally lists everything that Francois is good at, and, medicine is the only weakness they have. Oh, I'm excited for this. I mean, seriously, what's coming next is one of my favorite panels in this entire series, and just the alliance between these two that took to build it is fascinating. I mean, Senku wants, a plain old basic diagram to help explain things to everyone, but these two are artists, and they will not do anything half-assed. They will go above and beyond. Oh, it's amazing. I cannot wait to see this. Oh my god, Suka in the background, absolutely terrified of how intense they are. It's fantastic. I love it, seriously. Oh, Senku, you have ticked off two people who you should not have ticked off, and they are going to, go so far above and beyond. That's actually insane. Oh, that is a horrifying look in their eyes right there. That is, literally straight up demonic. Yeah, run, Suka. Run while you still can. They built an entire freaking observatory to house the diagram in. Oh, Senku, you need to start being way more specific when you ask for things. Also important to point out, they made this in a night, in one singular night. Yeah, even Senku is shocked. Oh my god, there's literally stars on the background. Because of course there are. And gears, there are gears turning all of this. Oh, that is beautiful. Yes, globe acquired. Holy mother of God above. Okay, for the record, this is what it looks like in the manga, and I was always very confused about a lot of the details of it, but this is... Oh my god, Senku's horrified. I'm not sure if he's horrified just about what they did, or the fact they were able to do all of this in a single night. I mean, this would take, I think, even a skilled craftsman with modern day tools, weeks to accomplish, but these two are just so far beyond that it's actually terrifying. love this girl. Absolutely love this girl. Alright, so this is Senku's plan. It's basically a pyramid scheme. Essentially, he's going to go to all these places in the world where there are resources he needs. Corn City, Super Alloy City, Aluminum City, Rubber City, and Math City, and just basically wake up a few people and say, hey, make a city here. And then he's going to leave and move on to the next city. I mean, it's certainly faster than establishing a whole new kingdom of science in every location. He just needs to, do some of the startup stuff, and then he can move on. Huzzah! God above, there's just, seriously, the animators went so far above and beyond this with a zoom in of each location. I love it. Also, for the record, that last city was Math City. I'm surprised they aren't actually labeling these. Yeah, that's Math City. That's Super Alloy City, South America. Oh, here's label. Okay, I feel like an idiot for calling them out. Corn City, America. Super Alloy City, South America. Aluminum City, Australia. Is that Australia? Rubber City. God, I can't remember where Rubber City was. It's somewhere in this area. I forget the exact country they went to for it. And then Math City, I think that was India. Somewhere along there. And together, they will all work together and build a spaceship and go to the moon and battle the Y-Man in an epic duel with the fate of humanity on the line. Yeah, that's also a very real concern. I mean, they woke up a few people. I mean, the second person they woke up here in Japan was Tsukasa, and he went straight up villain and tried to take over the entire world. And then Hyoga did the same, and there's no real guarantee that the other people they encounter around the world won't be evil. It's not like they're going to know every single person there. I mean, even here in Japan, they're like, okay, we have a reporter who knows everybody, who's important, who's significant, and she can find the important people. And even she dug up a few duds. Even she dug up a few people who are like, oh, no, they are evil. Like, for example, Hyoga or Homura. So in another part of the world where they know far less people and know far less of the native languages, it's going to be way, way harder to make sure they don't dig up a supervillain, a serial killer, a cannibal. Oh, I love you, Tsukasa. Yeah, he is, like I said before, literally the strongest man in the world. Nobody can actually beat him in a fight, so yeah, there's not a whole lot they need to worry about. I mean, rogue individuals may cause some problems, but he can obviously kick all their butts, and then that's it. They win. Huzzah! And also, I mean, let's not forget that even if a bunch of people do rise up and, form an enemy nation or whatever, the Kingdom of Science has cotton candy, they have ramen, they have as many modern day, luxuries as one could expect in the Stone Age. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense for them to turn against the Kingdom of Science if they can't reproduce those same luxuries. Yeah, that is a really, really far distance to cover on boat. It's not, necessarily impossible. I think there was even some reports of China being able to make it to America long, long time ago on much simpler boats than what Senku has, so it's possible. It's just going to be really freaking rough. Oh, of course he's throwing his money around. And he's on the freaking money, for God's sake. Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, that's where we get a little bit awkward, because, let's not forget that Tsukasa's, one of his big goals was to destroy capitalism. Or more accurately, he was trying to destroy, the old world where the greedy, where the rich basically use their power, their money to control other people. Thankfully, though, Ryu isn't like that. He is kind of awful and selfish and greedy and wants everything in the world, but he's also a real go-getter. He's willing to put in the work himself to get what he desires. Greed is noble, after all. In fact, we even saw him earlier this episode wearing a apron while cooking bread. He could have very easily just paid people to cook the bread for him, but he got his hands dirty. He was involved in the process. So I don't think he and Ryu, I don't think he and Tsukasa are going to have all that much of an issue. Even if the reporter girl is, very, very concerned about it. Oh, God. Ryu, you are such a flirt, seriously. Don't just go around saying I love you to everybody, even if you do, actually freaking mean it. Yeah, she's surprisingly not all that charmed by his confession of love. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, so I think Ryu just went out as bisexual, so, good for him. He just wants literally everybody in the world. He's the very definition of greedy, but as I said, he's also willing to put in the work and effort to make his dreams a reality, so he is way more likable than he should be. Yeah, Tsukasa hears this, he understands his philosophy, and he accepts it. I think he and Ryu will get along great moving forward. Huzzah! In order to get all the alcohol, they need to go to Corn City, USA, because corn can be turned into alcohol, and that's all they need right there. They can wake up literally everybody on Earth after that. We do love corn here in the good old US of A. I'll give you that, Senku. Oh, Taiju, you are fully thinking with your stomach, and honestly, I don't mind. Corn is really freaking good. Yeah, Jen. He can't forget, the last time the good old US of A was mentioned. He tried to convince everyone in Tsukasa's army that the USA was up and running again, and had a full military who were on their way to go stop Tsukasa and save everyone. Oh, what a lie that was. It wasn't even all that good of a lie. It didn't even last all that long before people figured out the truth. Alright, so after being back in Japan for all of, I think, a week, they are now packing up again and heading back out to go continue the exploration beyond the New World, all the way to America. And, okay, I don't recall this in the manga, but Matsukaze is literally carrying Jinro on his shoulder. I don't know why or how that's a thing. I mean, I can think of a lot of situations where he'd be knocked out, Matsukaze would need to carry him, but that's just such a weird detail right here. I don't see in the manga at all. Also, just, while we're on it, poor little Mira. I mean, she literally just got her big brother back, and now he's on a ship to the other side of the world. That is so sad. I love this. Suka is just so happy to be on the ship, just, flapping her legs about. It's adorable. Especially because, let's not forget, she was a stowaway on the last trip to Treasure Island. But after she literally saved everybody, they decided, you know what, now you can just come along. You're a full member of the Kingdom of Science. You're one of our warriors, our soldiers. So good for her. And again, no idea why Jinro is passed out on Matsukaze's shoulders. Such a weird detail. That's certainly exciting for Chrome. Let's not forget, he grew up in a tiny little village where the most he could do was explore for a few miles around him. And he did. He explored every bit he could, looking for some cure for worry. But now he's literally going to the other side of the world. He's going to see everything. So many sights, so many people, so much amazing stuff. It's literally enough to boggle the human mind. Oh, God. I love it. That was Senku's goal, even from the ripe old age of 5 or 6 or whatever. He wanted to go to the moon, and now he's making that dream a reality. We're coming for you, Y-Man. We are coming to the freaking moon. Yeah, Yeah, they even said, when Senku was in class, he said, I want to go to the moon. I want to be an astronaut. And his teacher said, oh, yeah, it's a great dream when you grow up. And he's like, no, I want to do it immediately. And now he is doing it almost immediately. Dang straight it is. Oh, that was fantastic. Loved it. Final season confirmed. Dr. Stone's science future. And again, like I said, just so freaking weird that the final season is happening now, and we still have 90-some chapters left to go. That's like 4 chapters per episode, and I just can't imagine it happening. So again, my best guess is that we're going to get this final season of, let's say, 24 episodes. I have a fairly good idea of where that will end. And then we'll get, like, maybe 3 movies, because, yeah, that could make sense. Suko could have her own movie, because honestly, I feel like she deserves it. And then that movie, and then the actual, Journey to the Moon could be its own movie, its own full thing. I say movie, like 90 minutes special, you know what I mean? Anyway, though, this was a great episode. We finally got Tsukasa back on the Kingdom of Science's team. Adorable with Mira and the reporter girl. Oh my god, that actually had me tearing up quite a bit. And then we had, him and Senko have that big dramatic... I'm going to rewind because I wanted to find that shot again. Yeah. Just these... Oh god, seriously. So much extra detail was put into drawing this scene. I love it. Just these two back to back, like, yeah, this is it. We're going forward. We're getting serious. We're fighting side by side for the first time ever. And then it just kind of completely fell apart when he asked what the mission was. And Senku told him they were attacking the freaking moon. Oh, I love it. Seriously. This is like my top 5 favorite moments in the entire manga, entire series. Just the way he breaks like that is fantastic. And then we had Kasuki and Yuzu teaming up to make a globe. And I'm sure Senku was expecting, like a globe foot long or whatever, just as a diagram to show things off. But they not only made this thing like 20 feet tall, but they also created these insane spinning gear system so the planet itself would rotate, which that is so absolutely unnecessary. They must have spent so many resources on this, but oh, I love it. I absolutely freaking love it. And just please let me think down below, how do you think the next season is going to go, considering how much is still left? Are they just going to cut out, like, an insane amount of content to get us there? Because I just don't see that happening in any way that would be even remotely satisfying. I'm not sure. And what do you think of this episode? What do you think of Tsukasa being revived? What do you think of the globe being created? And what are your expectations for next season? I mean, seriously, anime-only watchers, what is your guess? What do you think is going to happen next? But please, let me think of all this down below, and until next time, peace!